Hi everyone, the Mature Simmer here. So, pretty excited. My goal here is to get past the last Frankfurt Koblenz scenario, Christmas Day. Alright, Merry Christmas, driver. Take this RE2 service from Frankfurt to Koblenz on this wonderful Christmas Day. Allow the passengers to board here before your departure at 15:09. Alright, so here I am. The briefing, it's Christmas Day, but the railway doesn't take a day off. Your duty this afternoon is to take the RE2 service the full length of the line from Frankfurt to Koblenz. We've got 13 other stops, aside from this one. I've got a lot of inability to do this scenario properly. I can't even tell you what attempt this is. It's a long one. It's the full length, as it said. So it's 105 minutes, a lot of opportunity for things to go wrong. And, you know, I've been pretty good at doing that. Like now, it's always something. Like, yeah, I didn't put my forward gear in motion, but I should be okay here. Turn on the lights. It's nothing I've been flagged for yet, but, you know, why give it any excuses? And then just be aware that we can only go 30 here. Now, I've never made this mistake yet. You know, we'll see as I talk to myself and you for the recording. We'll see if this will be the time that I do make the mistake. But going through the yard here, obviously there's a lot going on. There's a lot to look at. But even though this is marked as a two-line green star, you know, easy scenario, I'm having difficulty with it. I'm not gonna lie. It's been frustrating and challenging. I don't know, frustrating is less of it. I mean, it's on me. I'm the one manipulating the controls improperly, so. But yeah, obviously switching us, they got us into the right track. That one's waiting. I've always been wondering if they were going to cross us in front, but I can't even pretend anymore that I'm wondering, because been this way before a lot. So now we can get ourselves up to 60. But yeah, basically the German signaling, just trying to understand how things go. The last time I did it, I crested a hill, and I'm sitting there talking about how I need to be careful not to speed, and then I like literally flew by the speed and got into like the negative on the points, and I'm like, well, again, I'm going to redo the scenario at that point, so I just stop and restart. So, but yeah, you know, it's kind of nice here in the winter. We had the last one. Got a line going up the hill there, some going off who knows where over there, but so this one I've determined, I think it's going over that bridge is why they're taking that track up. You know, we're staying a good ways ahead of the timetable, which we need, because on long runs like this, as we well know, things get delayed, things slow down. So some of the errors I've had before, somehow at one point the pantograph disconnected from the line, probably because I brushed a key and turned it off. So I was at a station, and then I'm like turning on the power and we're not moving, and it took like a minute and I was still on time, but then I ended up misreading a signal at some point. Alright, so now we're going up the hill, so we do want to speed up a bit. And then, you know, we've got some bridges up here, but those are for the line over to the right. We're going to be crossing that boxy bridge that we have had issues with in other scenarios about speeding in the other direction, but less so in this direction, because they don't really change anything, but you know, we have to stay at 60. There was a signal I think I had missed that gave me that warning. So we'll see if we can see the other one. But actually, no, I think we just need to be at 60 here. Never mind, I'm thinking too far ahead, but this is the one, like, yeah, I don't get up to 90 because we're stopping right away, so. But, yeah, once again, like, I've yet to see where the indicator is that tells me I can go to 80 in this space here. But, again, we're down to a little less than a minute, where we had like almost a minute and a half before. But I don't want to go too fast. We're still here in Frankfurt. We got to stop. So I'm just obviously being aware of that and remembering we've got really good brakes, so they stop pretty quickly. And then we'll, you know, increase our braking here and get ourselves stopped. So there we go. Alright. The other cool thing I noticed, the clocks seem to tell the real time. Like the second hand's sweeping away. You know, it's 3:14. You'll notice, I mean, even to the second, it's kind of accurate. So I think the clocks tell time. Now again, does that happen on every line? I don't know. So yeah, but the situation now that I was recalling, so you can see this blinking signal. And I was like, I don't know exactly what that means, because obviously this one is solid green over here. I know what that means. Like, it's all clear, go. So this was like, is it warning me it's going to turn yellow? But no, it's actually, there's a speed indicator there that we'll see as we get closer. And I think that's just a warning, a visual warning to like pay attention to this signal, because it's going to tell you something else, so that yes, things are clear ahead, but there's a change. And so there's a difference in the speed of 90 that we're going to get informed about as we go through this signal. Alright, there we go. So I usually take off at 50, because I have actually even gotten wheel spin on this scenario, which on the German trains I haven't had before. But now as we get closer here, you can see there's a 6, which means at the next signal, not this one, we can only be going 60. And so I actually had seen that the first time through, so I did okay. It didn't catch me on that. And so the best I can think of is maybe because it's winter, they're a little bit more cautious in certain areas where they could be slippery. And again, I'm kind of running the risk of getting over speed. But yeah, I think that's a stadium in front of us. But it was one of those, like, if I've been through here before, I haven't seen it, and it might be because the trees are filled out. And so you couldn't really tell. You'd just, at best, be able to see that roof floating up above there. But that, to me, looks certainly like some sort of a football stadium, or, you know, and yes, football in the European sense where we're at, of soccer. So I understand I'm saying it intentionally, so there again we've got a 6, which has given us the warning, this signal, and now the 6 on top I think means right now. Because then I hit another problem coming up soon as we go through the next station, which is, you know, right up here, that isn't really a stop, is on the other side. And I'm looking here, like any kind of indicator, and I'm not seeing it. But on the other side, there's a signal, and it has a 5 on top of it. And so immediately at that point, we have to be going 50. And so I had gotten caught speeding there. So it's coming up here. So we'll be okay the way we're going right now. So you can see it's a 5, 8, S. So I think it's telling us, you know, so maybe if you go that way, it's going to let you go 80. But here, it's 50. And then shortly past here is where I just made my last mistake. Because you can see we go up and down. And so once we're over here, we're going to get an indicator that we can go quicker up here. And so as opposed to changing like instantly, this says 8, so like it should be now, but it takes a tiny bit longer. The train's not fully through, but then we can go. And so then this is the spot where I go up, and eventually it changes to 110, as you can see, but it changes earlier. And I've gotten the drive quality for this track switch, because I think we went around it too quickly. So again, other than learning that, there's not much you can do to save yourself. And then kind of when we crest this hill, suddenly there's a 110, but there's no indicator here, again, that we're switching that early. So it almost seems like that is a true problem. So this is where I was talking, and we'll see if I do it again, where I'm like, I gotta be careful, and then I blew past the speed. So, because we're not stopping at that station, but I am going to get myself here and then kind of get on the brake a bit so that I can keep the speed under control, because this is not what I didn't do before. Is here I then had gone negative, where you can see I only have, you know, 144 points, so it's not like I have that much of a cushion. But yeah, we're headed to Flughafen, which I believe is airport in German. And, you know, we've got a 50-second or so benefit, but we got to be down to 90. And so, yeah, my comment is, I thought it was underground, and then there's a point where it looks like we come up from the ground, but we don't. We just see some daylight. So, just, you know, not worry about the suspense. We are underground at the Flughafen as well, not just at Gateway Gardens. And, alright, and then here we're going to hit 90. There's the 9. You know, I understand all these signals. I understand how all that works. But then, yeah, I think here is where we come around the turn and suddenly it's like we see daylight. Once again, we're not going to go up to 110 because then we're just a kilometer away from stopping, so speeding up doesn't make a lot of sense. But there you go. There's the... And then, yeah, we have to be down to 80 at this light. And I'm going to miss it. So even knowing that, it's a tight one. But I only lost 4 points, so I'll go with it. Again, it's one of those, like, you kind of forget. There's really no notice ahead of time. That one's really close. It just seems like this scenario is a bit set up to tell you it's easy and then just eat you alive. So, yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate how that all kind of works out. But we're a bit ahead here. So I'm going to get this going. Because at this point, we can stop at any point here. I don't want to go stop too early, so I'll back off the brakes a bit. We've got some time. It gets us further down the line. Just kind of helps out in general. So yeah, once again, not a perfect scenario if I end up keeping this recording and don't start over yet again. But, you know, we lost 4 points, so that's certainly workable. Be get myself down to 0 here. And this is only our 3rd stop. So as I said, it's very easy to have mistakes happen. So yeah, other than somehow disengaging the pantograph, which I think is the P key, and that's like right above where the brakes are, so I'm thinking my finger just may have brushed something as I was trying to go ahead and get things to disengage. But yeah, we'll get going. And then the one where I've gotten the farthest that really got me to unfortunately start over because I just got a massive penalty. I did go back and review the recording at that point just to make sure that I could see what was happening, and at that point I had missed a signal, because it was one of those like we hit in the early scenarios where, so see, we've got a 6 right there, like we can't go beyond 60 here, so now it immediately drops. You know, and there's things like that which I don't know that I've recalled on other scenarios as frequent. So the best I can determine is this is just some safety measures for winter traversal here, because, you know, the rails may be icy, slippery, and obviously they want to avoid any accidents of any kind. You know, but then now we're up to 120. So, like I said, it's just very interesting, confusing, but yeah, so we've got a long trip to Russelsheim. And so we'll get going here because now we're going to be outside for climbing, so that's going to take a little bit more power. But after a little bit, I think we get to the point where we can go 160. And so you can see we're already behind in time. So this is where I started having a bit of panic on and off because, you know, we're behind. And why are we behind? Like, I'm doing everything I can to not be behind, and then I'm behind. So, and then watch the signals. Nothing really seems to be indicating anything. Looking at advanced signals. And so now you can see we've got a 10, which means I need to be back at 100 by that signal, not by where it says 100. So this again is the kind of stuff that was like, it just keeps happening on this scenario, and you miss one little signal and you slough off all your points. I mean, that's the cleanest way to explain it. So we're going to hit 100 right here. There you can see the 10 on top. Bing, down to 100. You know, now we're almost 30 seconds behind though, so it's a tough one. So I'm trying to do what I need to here. Trying to remember if it switches us a couple tracks over. I think it does. So I think we move over, and then, no, I guess I'm a liar. We do move over at some point, but obviously it's not here. So again, you can see on top, it's still telling us 10, so we're still going 100, but if it was going to tell us something else, like either I'm too focused on the top and I miss it, okay, so here's where it's moving us over. You know, which is the best then I can determine of the why it's down to 100, and then here we can go to 160. So I'm going to do that because now we're 31 seconds behind. And I think this then may have been the platform, although maybe it was Ingelheim, where I got stuck and was like, I'm ready to move and I can't, and you know, it was just a disaster. So, but we've got 10 kilometers to make up 31 seconds, hoping we can do it. At this point, usually when I'm around 140, we kind of turn the corner and start making up time. So yeah, you can see we've gained 2 seconds already. If I can keep it really close at like 158, I'm usually in pretty good shape to make it on time. So we'll get ourselves there and then maybe back off a bit. So we'll try 45. We'll see if we're still accelerating. Then we'll maybe back off a little bit more. But if not, obviously the goal is to continue along at a pretty good clip here so that we can make up our time, get back on the appropriate schedule, and hopefully get this scenario executed properly. Alright, so we're not exceeding the speed. So that's all good stuff. And then yes, if I recall, nothing happens in this stretch. Like I can go, which is obviously a good thing. Yeah, I'm within 5 seconds, 4 seconds. So right now, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Again, being really careful of the signals. Trying to make sure that what we are seeing is good, because we're getting this danger zone now where we're going 160 and we're now coming up on a stop. So you're trying to pay attention to the speed of the train. You're trying to pay attention to, I don't want to miss any visual signals. So it just gets to be a lot. I'd be curious how much the engineers get paid on these lines for this stuff. Because you need people who know what they're doing. Why is this not? Oh, because I'm somehow backwards. I don't know. Luckily I had room to slow down, because I need to be down to 130 at least. I'm slowing down a little faster in case this advanced signal gives me something else. It doesn't. So again, we're 2 kilometers out, but now we're getting the warning for 13 for 130. You know, and the challenge is like I'm probably going to start losing time if I'm not careful, because I should be going 160 still. And yes, I need to be down to 130, but so yeah, I've lost a couple seconds. But it's just playing with the controls and then trying to do the other things. It's like, it's too much. Alright, so we're going to start making sure that we're slowing down here. And at this point we're good. But see, now we're like 1 second behind in theory, so I can usually maybe come in a little faster than I'd like, because we're still, you know, half a kilometer away. And it's just always important to remember we've got these really good brakes. You know, and one of these times I'm going to say that, and I'm going to totally misjudge the platform, but I think we're going to be okay here. But yeah, right there was when we should have stopped. Obviously we haven't. Alright. So we are there. Somehow I still get the brake controls reversed in my head. I don't know why. But I do. No excuses. Okay, pantograph is still on. Alright. And yeah, I'm terrible at these mechanical signals. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, I see a green up there, so, and then the next one's yellow, so I assume that's like if you were switching or something onto the other line. We're not, so I'm not worried about it. So I just need to keep track. I don't recall there being anything unique here, but we do have a lot of, obviously, things changing. So I just need to be careful that I'm not missing a signal and getting surprised. And Mainz Bischofsheim, less than 4 kilometers away at this point. And so once again, just keeping an eye out for some signals that are telling us something different. But right now, in theory, we're able to go 130. Again, I suck at reading these mechanical, or, you know, mechanical ones, I guess. They really are. But the top one's showing green. I assume the top one's always what we're supposed to be looking at. So I go. And there we saw the 1-3 for 13, just like we're on. Our station's visible. Nothing at that signal. But, yeah. So, 2 kilometers away. So this is about the point where I just start, because otherwise we're in danger of having something unexpected happen. So get me down to close to 100, but then keep going, because again we're only kind of 9 seconds in the good. Nothing lit up there. Alright, so at 1 kilometer I like to kind of make sure, just so that there aren't any surprises. And again, we'll back off a bit. Oh, the excavator's working. I don't know that I noticed that, but I think this is only the second time I've gotten this far in this scenario, so I don't know that I've had that many opportunities. But yeah, this is a tinier platform, so it's important to appropriately approach it, and obviously, you know, we don't want to overshoot it, but you know, now we're behind. It's 5, 6, 7 seconds, so alright. Paying attention to what I'm doing, full service, back off 1, because otherwise, actually, see, this is what I think I did before, where now I'm like, alright, I should be stopping, but I'm having to move the train because we're like not on the platform. Alright, so now we're good. Alright, so 13 seconds, and I have determined, like, it all works then. And I think this is where, for the same reason, like, I kind of panicked a bit here and there, and then I think this is where the pantograph got disengaged, and then I'm like ready to go. And actually, I think it's the next one, because it was like 15:42 is where I was then stopping at the next place, and I was still on time. Alright. No, so no, it was here, because the ETA, the 15:42, so yeah, it was between here and the Mainz Theater. So at least we didn't repeat the pantograph problem, because I swear I spent a minute at the station here just trying to get things to work appropriately. So, but a little under 6 kilometers. So So still, I think, in Mainz, obviously. Alright, so we're at the point where we can fully accelerate. We're theoretically 6 seconds ahead. We were 5, but we gained 1, so... And I think we're in good shape here. Alright, we're getting the advanced signal warning, so let me make sure I don't miss something. Looks alright. Nothing even to flag us, but we gotta look for little yellow lights there. And against the snow, that's what I had missed at the one point. And again, I don't think it was here. I think I was okay getting in here because I was kind of going crazy about the pantograph. But I had made it, so. Alright, nothing there. All green, all good. But we've got 3. We've got to slow down to 120 in a bit, so. Just paying attention to that, because that's just 1.3 kilometers away. I don't believe there was any kind of early signal. In case there was, I guess we'll start slowing down. Right, yeah, we're still at 140. And this is where, again, we get in danger of then kind of sloughing off time because, you know, we've got a quarter. Okay, so now I need to be down to 8 by the next signal, which is a kilometer away, so I need to be down to 80. So we've got time. It's basically the other side of the bridge. So just kind of keep ourselves moving here. Or not the other side, but yes, I think it's the other side of the bridge. And there's the warning again. So kind of get it closer to where I can be, because now once again I backed off enough that I'm behind. But yeah, this signal is the one that drops us to 80. There we go. And then obviously we've got to stop here, so just need to be careful. And this is also a tiny platform. So, you know, want to get in there, but want to just be careful. There's really nothing else to say. So, slow down pretty sharply here. But this again, I think, was one where then I drifted in and had to accelerate, so let me back off a bit here, and now we'll get ourselves slowing down. But yeah, now we're kind of ticking into where we should be done, and we're obviously not done. But there we go, so 10 seconds, not too bad. This is only 6 of 14, so if you've not been along on the full journey last time, you'll kind of start to get an understanding of this is a long train line. But I believe this section was as far as I've gotten, because I think this was then, well, no, because I think I had like 400, might have even had 500 points, so I might have been a couple more away. I guess let me look. Yeah, because we went to Mainz, and we were either pulling into Ingelheim or I had left Ingelheim No, I think it was before that, so I know I got to the next one okay. So it's not quite yet, but get ready to pull away because it's about that time. There we go. And yeah, I do remember, because then the next one, like, I still wasn't at 500. But then I think where I gave up is I had hit, like I had gone from 500 down to like 70. Snow on the tracks there, but as a train we kind of cut through that, I guess. Freaked me out a bit when I went by it the one time too. But yeah, less than 2 kilometers to Mainz actual platform that isn't specific to a attraction of some sort. But signal looks good. Wanna be okay and staying on time, so we can slow down from 80 pretty easily. And there's the 8 underneath, but that's what we should be doing anyway. So just keep moving along, keeping ourselves much on time as possible. So another smallish platform. But once there's an 8, so we need to be at 8 right away. And getting in here, but again, it's smaller, but not super small. You know, I think this is, yeah, I think this got me somewhere before too. So disappointing. Not enough that I'm gonna, again, call it off, but wow. Because, yeah, I don't know that there's a signal anywhere there telling me that I need to do that. Alright, so I can stop now. So yeah, I'm still comfortable that, like, I'll get a star or whatever it is, you know, but what I'm not comfortable of is, you know, have I now killed my chances of getting the achievement? Because sometimes the achievement's 900 points, and, you know, on what's supposed to be an easy scenario, that may be what we're facing. But, like, I don't know, I struggle with, like, those where it dropped to 40, and again, now we're clearly at 80. Like, is that a bug in the design of the route? And then when I hit this next one, and I think it may have been very similar to this, I may have been at like 444 like this. And when I hit the next one that really got me, that one I looked back at and I'm like, alright, I've missed a signal. But I didn't honestly go back and check this one. But right now, like, we're behind again, and this is the same problem I had where I'm like, okay, I need to move. And so I was pushing myself, and I missed a signal, clearly, toward the end. Nothing happens up here. It's pretty straightforward here. So we can just kind of keep going. Probably not that fast, because we're not going to hit 100 yet. There we go. Now we do. But then we don't hit 160 for a bit, so... But it's just getting through all these switches and all the, you know, ways the lines go. It's very easy to just get overwhelmed with everything that there is to look at and miss something, and then misrun the train. Alright, so I want to be careful as I'm up there at 99, because I don't think I make up any time until I get into that 160 range, because this was the problem I had. Like, my time is ticking up and I'm like literally at speed. So it's like, what else do you want me to do? But clearly in the 160 range, then it does things. And then I was, I think, discussing when, just before I had the problem, like, oh, I'm a little nervous because like suddenly I'm gaining time really, really fast, which makes it seem like I'm going to get tricked somewhere. And then I did. Although I didn't get tricked. When I look back at the video, I just had literally missed a yellow signal, a caution signal, which I know in learning German signaling tells me without any other indicator that I need to be down to 40 at the next signal, and I had just missed that entirely. So for the most part, most of the way here, so we're not quite 30 seconds behind, but most of the way here now we can go, and there's nothing that happens between here and Ingelheim. It's just, I think as we're getting to the last few kilometers is where I missed the signal, and it was around a turn to the left, if I recall. So just kind of try to remember that, but obviously we're constantly turning left or right, so alright. I think we'll put ourselves at 50. That will almost certainly keep accelerating us. Yep. So 158. Okay, going back down, so we'll go back up. And I think 45 was where I kind of kept it at. And I think we do get to the point now where it starts slowly ticking down, and we're gaining a second every few. But the goal on any of these runs is, to stay ahead of schedule if I can, because then I can be a bit more conservative later and do what I need. But yeah, now we're less than 20 seconds off, so it's still over 10 kilometers away, so we've got some time to make things up. But just need to be careful. So some greenhouses. So let's see if we can do some scenic shots here. Get back in here, get ourselves back up so that we don't make a mistake, but gives you a nice view, different view of the train, but I just don't want to botch anything up, so sorry if you'd like more, but I'm running too close to the edge. And in the end, obviously, it's just an approach and then a shot where we're pulling away, so I don't know that it's that super exciting. But, who knows? Alright, so now we're in a good spot. I don't know exactly where we were hitting this, but it was definitely somewhere nearby, because like I said, we got to it pretty quickly, and I was going so fast that I sloughed off a ton. So okay, no yellow. And again, I think it was a turn in the other direction, if I recall. So, where the signal had come up. And at this point, we're about a kilometer between signals. So, I've got a kilometer to get down. It's just a matter of, and I think I had seen a different speed come up, So I think we're still safe where I'm at, but I think I was like getting ready to slow down for that, and was, and then just had missed the fact that there was an earlier warning, probably because as I started to slow down for the other one. Yep, there it is. So this is it, and so that signal's okay. So I was paying attention. Basically at that 170 is where we're going to need to be down, and where we weren't, frankly. So this one's okay, but it's giving us the warning that there's a signal closer. And then this is the one you'll see there's a yellow, see? And I missed that. And so instead of being down to 60, because there's no other indicator, I need to be down to 40 when I hit that signal at 3/4 of a kilometer away. And so I think I was, I don't know, I was probably still even going faster than this, because I'm like, I got time. But yeah, like I'm losing a bit of time here, so I need to be, I want to be careful, but I don't want to be ridiculously conservative because it's going to cause me an issue. So there we go. And so yes, that's what got me. So now I'm further than I was before. If that makes everyone happy, it makes me a little bit happy. You know, and I'm assuming again it has us down to 40 because we're going to do some sort of a track switch here. Is normally what I found happens. But like at this point, at least we're staying on time. Because it would be crazy if it slowed us down to 40 and then lets us go up to 60 before something happens. So clearly there's a 60 there, but I'm thinking we're switching tracks here, and they're moving us over to the left, and there you go, they are. And so obviously, they don't want you going 60 at that point. Where now you could be going 60, which might be why I have that indicator there. But it's still telling us to stay at 40, so obviously I'll do that. So, alright, well now it's telling us 60. So I'll speed up a bit because we are, again, behind. And we're behind because we can go faster. So we do that. Again, Ingelheim's not that big, so I want to be careful. But we should be okay. Coming up on 4 o'clock. Alright, technically got the back off a little bit, but it'll be alright. So I always like to back the brake off, but I just have to be careful that I don't start rolling, so I'm keeping my hand on the brake controls. But yeah, I had not gotten this far before. Alright, so we'll get going. Starting to get some shadows because we are getting later in the afternoon. Alright. Only goes 60. merge right back into the track we were on. But obviously they needed us where they needed us to let people get out. And obviously let people get on. So we're kind of right on time. Alright, now it's telling me 160. And we've got 12 kilometers. So other than paying attention... Alright, anything on the signal? Nope. So, okay, so there's the turn, I think, that gets us down to 150. And we may actually be up near that by the time we get there, because that's 2.5 kilometers away. And as we've seen before, these trains definitely have some get up and go. So, alright, we've got another train coming this way. Oh, I think he's moving. It's hard to tell. Yeah, he is, just not super fast. Freight train again. But Christmas Day, you know, maybe it's a little quieter. Alright, I'm not... If something catches me, it's gonna catch me, because I've been watching the signals, and I don't know that I saw anything. Alright, so we're going to be down to, like I said, 150, and if I recall, this is a sweeping turn. And then once we're out of that turn, we then can go and get back up to, or get to 160, because we obviously didn't go past 150. Alright, early signal, it is green. Trying to keep myself close to speed here. So let's see, we are counting down. I think I've talked about this before, so we have less than 8 kilometers on the train distance. But obviously the platform's further away, so obviously there's some change in how it counts the distance on the line. So I'm going to get back up to 158 again, and then put it at 445, sorry. See what that looks like. Yeah, I think we'll be, yeah, it looks like you can see the mountains coming. We're getting close to that space. Alright, another early signal, just make sure. Double green, that's exactly what we'd love to see. Because just like coming into Ingelheim, there might be another 40 that we need to be aware of. So, there's another one. All good. Alright, 4.5 kilometers, so lots of advanced signal warnings. All good. So again, we gotta slow down, but I wanna be aware of any signals that tell us anything early. Doesn't look like it. Right. There's no, unless we have some other advanced signal, there's really not a signal before we need to be down to 100, so. Alright, we are ahead a good amount, so gonna get myself slowing down. Alright, there we go. So 0.5 kilometer. We did lose some speed because of all of that, but that's alright, I guess, or some time, I should say. Alright, so we're down to 10, then we're going to be down to 9. So we shouldn't lose too much here, but unless I see a signal, I'm going to wait. Lots of fun noises. Alright, 90. And then obviously slowing down to stop. So, not going to do anything crazy. Oh, and we hit 90 earlier than the sign, so. Alright, so full service, but don't need it. Alright, I was misreading the time. I'm like, I'm already behind, but no, I was good. Nice long platform here in Bingen, so we'll be all set. There we go. Alright, so that's number 9. So we're on the tail end, but again, now through the mountains, there are some interesting pieces of the route we have for certain. So I want to be careful here. Able to back off. Then we can go 100 and then 120. So yeah, typically if I understand everything correctly, we need 700 or maybe 800 for like a bronze star. No, I guess it would be 700, then I think 800 silver, and anything above 900 is gold. But then the achievements are kind of the achievements. So they're their own animal for the most part, I guess, is the easiest way to describe that. But yeah, this is kind of like the gateway into the mountains from this direction, or the gateway into the countryside going the other way. But it is a clear dividing line. So, yeah, we'll see. We should be... This is always so close, where I'm like not quite at 120. And yeah, I think I would have really been in danger of speeding if I had not backed off, so... Alright. Because, yeah, Niedershembach... Luckily I didn't get flagged. I did go to 121, but maybe it was like 120.6 or something, so... That was closer for comfort than I would have liked, for certain. Alright, advanced signal. All good. I don't know that I noticed the same snow-covered mountains on the other side. That's pretty nice. Alright, so just trying to be careful here, because, yeah, we're... Unlike the other one where I could go 45, but once again, we were also closer to 160 then, so that may have had something to do with it. I'm worried I missed a signal, something like caught in the periphery of my eye. Alright, well, we went by and we didn't get flagged, so I think we're okay. Gotta slow down a bit at 1.5 kilometers. So going but not going, I guess. Because yeah, at this point it's still maintaining itself at 126. We're about 1 second behind where we'd like to be. So let me get ourselves down here. There we go. So 5 kilometers. So yeah, I think I was talking about the river freezing or boats in the river. But with flowing water, a lot of times I guess it's good, but it seemed risky to me still, because you got a boat in the water when it freezes, you can do some damage to the hull for certain. Alright, we are falling behind a bit, but just feel like the other shoe's gonna drop. I'm gonna get caught if I'm not careful, so. I'm gonna try get a little bit more speed. Okay, that should do it. Because now we're at, we're still speeding up, so I need to be careful. Because now we are getting close to a point where I could be speeding, so. Right now, it doesn't look like we're supposed to slow down before the platform. So probably this way and around the next hill. You know, we'll probably be turning back to the left again before we get to the platform, but maybe not. Alright, 120. Yep, there we go. The left turn. Kind of what I thought. But we're still over 1 kilometer away from where we need to stop, so no reason to panic yet. Hopefully we don't have a reason to panic, because we're appropriately slowing down. Oh boy, went the wrong way. Once again, my wonderful confused controls. But just a point. Goodness gracious, can't take me anywhere. At least nowhere where I have to run a train. Full service. Back this off in case again I hit the wrong key. Alright, so we've got 10. So yeah, we've still got over half an hour left to go, but even time-wise, we're well past the midpoint now. Caught me a little by surprise there. That's what I get for looking at something else away from my controls. But hopefully now we've got 3 kilometers to Bacharach. In theory, we'll be able to really get moving here at 1:30. So we will accelerate aggressively. We're ahead Okay, so there's a 50, but that could mean we get some sort of advanced signal before this 1.5 kilometer thing, so I'll try to keep an eye on that. So there's an advanced signal here. Back off for, yep. So that is the 40. So we need to be at 40 before the next signal. But again, we've got more than... I'm sorry, see, I almost misread it. We don't have more than a kilometer. So I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we'll be good. So go a little bit here because, again, we are losing some time. Alright, and if I have this right, this will drop us down to 40. Drop us down to 50, but still. I'd rather be certain, so alright, so we can go to 50, so I'll speed up a bit. I thought it said if there was no signal, it's always, or no indicator, it's always 40. So that's why I did what I did, but at this point we're, 10 seconds behind, but it's not terrible. So, but guessing we'll move over here. Yep. So, getting on the other side of the bridge supports, and then obviously, this is where we need to be to get to the platform appropriately. So. Yeah, now we're still losing a bit of time, 15 seconds, 16 seconds. So I'd like to get in there because I do think it's more of a challenge here in the mountains. Like once you get behind, you're kind of behind. So kind of a short platform. But I think we'll be all right. Like we should be stopped already. So this is the challenge. All right. Should be good. We're not, kind of beyond the 60 or 30 seconds, which is always a bit of the danger. All right, doesn't look like we're gonna float away, so and we'll get going. But we can only go 50 for a bit. Oberwesel. Hoping once we merge onto the track here that speed will open up a bit, but it may not. We're over that pedestrian crosswalk for a bit. All right. Not yet. Oh, now we are. All right. So I guess we just needed to get past those switches. And we'll see if we can make up the bit of time that we're behind. So we can go 130, eventually 140. Don't know that we'll not be too close to the station then, but probably not. But we're going to have to back off before we get anywhere near the 130 point, because obviously we're already here at 120. Alright, no, whoops. Back ourselves down there. Alright, put it back to 10, see if that works. Because, yeah, we actually lost a second somehow. So, like I said, it's a challenge in the mountains for certain. Alright, so we can go quicker here. Again, I'm sure we'll hit speed before we get to the point where we can go 140. So be careful. But yeah, we can certainly speed up before we need to slow down, because kilometer and a half or so, we can still be going a good speed. And then still be able to slow down. Alright, so I think we're going to be alright here. Get ourselves to full service, because again, I don't want to overshoot things, but I think we're alright. Don't think I missed any signals, but yeah, we're still a kilometer away, and when I start slowing down at 100 from that, I'm always way too early, so let me get closer. And now we'll worry about it. I guess, again, being conservative, we'll hit the full service, although I think we're showing we're quite good. Yep, we're definitely good. We're going to be behind, like it or not. Alright, full service. We'll let it stop where it stops, and we will open our doors. Alright, 15 seconds, not bad. Actually, it was 10 seconds, so even better. I was reading I think the ETA where it thought we'd be. So let me back this off, get ready to go. So again, we're definitely tight here. Alright, oh, Boppard, 21.5 kilometers, so long way. So just a lot of paying attention to the signals, so hopefully I can do a good job. So I need to be down to 100, so probably not worth speeding past that. So we'll see how that all plays out, but I may barely hit 100 at that point. But I say that, and then these trains just surprise me. Because obviously at this speed we are eating up distance quickly, but we're also accelerating quickly, so. But 100 and then 90, assuming no other signal specialties. So there's an advanced signal here. These are the ones I really need to pay attention to. Alright. Back off a bit. Again, we are a bit ahead. Keep getting my times a little messed up. once again, we need to be down to 90 there, so... So I don't want to go too quickly, but I don't want to go too slowly. So, just get ourselves... maybe just drift down. Might still need to put on the brakes a bit, but I'm going to let it coast and see how we do. Yeah. Getting me a little nervous, so just be really safe. Because, yeah, here near the road, obviously it's being more conservative. And obviously we just got below 90. Alright, staying on this track. I figured we would be, but sometimes they slow us down to be able to do that. Alright, we're at the point where we've got some of the tunnels through the region here. We do have our lights on, so should be alright. Accelerate a little bit, keep our speed close. It's always a bit tricky. Trying to be close, but not too close, if you know what I mean. Because, yeah, now we're only somehow 2 seconds. So maybe there's some, again, 16 kilometers, a lot can happen. So maybe we get some high-speed sections again that folks move pretty well in, and hopefully we'll make that up, because 110's not that fast. It's also nearly 2 kilometers away, so we're going to lose some speed for sure. Or lose some time is what I really mean. Okay, I'm going to go down to 0. If I go to 0, we start slowing down a lot, but at 4 we were accelerating, so I just don't want to have a problem. But getting within a kilometer, we might be okay, so we'll see how it goes up. Because we are speeding up, but you know, we only went up 0.1 in basically 0.3 kilometers, so I think we'll be alright, unless the gradient changes or something. So I just need to be diligent, because again, we have to be fully past the 110 with the train, because yeah, we're definitely accelerating quicker than we were, but as long as we're not at 91, it's usually okay. Alright, so since we're behind again, I'm definitely going to push it. See if we can gain any time back here. Alright, so 4% should still speed us up a bit, as we saw. So we'll just kind of go between 4 and 0. Unless, of course, it behaves strangely. The bad thing is we're still losing time. This is where I just feel a bit helpless. Like, I mean, I can't really do anything. I mean, I can, again, say go to 10% to get it up to 110 and back off a bit, but I don't think that's going to change much. So I don't know if we're somehow still slowing down, but oh, there you go. We're We hit 110, so we're not. It's just so hard to know what to do. But obviously I can only do what it lets me. And the frustrating thing, yeah, now we'll be down to 100, because I was going to say I'm not seeing any speed difference, but now I am, and it's slowing us down. Goodness. So, I mean, there may be something, again, right before the platform that is a kind of a gotcha that maybe we can do okay with, and then that will get us back on time. I don't know. Yeah, we're getting in that danger zone of 30 seconds that I don't like, so. But I'm guessing maybe it's that tight turn there that slows us down to 100. But I'll kind of keep it up here for a bit. Unless I just got to watch the signal in case it gets us there a little bit early. But not seeing any advanced signal at all. All right, so we'll do that. It did not slow us down there, but it will here, obviously. So as I felt, the inner tight turn here is the place that has us slow down to 100. And again, maybe 130 is enough to do something different. Just usually, it wasn't really until we were at 160 that we were doing a great job at catching up and making up time. Still have 7 kilometers. A lot can happen. 34:16. We just don't want to see 34:17. We want to see 34:15 and keep counting down. But sadly, we're just seeing 34:16, even though, again, I'm right there. Alright, it did move, but we're almost a minute behind, so it's not looking good. Again, this is, kind of where I get into the danger zone, where I start trying to push it, and then, you do something a little bit wrong, and suddenly you're in negative territory. So, not sure if this is my advanced signal or the other one, but, well, there's one here, but it looks good. We gotta slow down to 120 again. But at that point, we're gonna be 2.5 kilometers away. From the Boppard platform, and so definitely we're going to have less time to do anything different, but again, I can only do what it lets me do. Alright, so not accelerating. Now we'll slow down. There we go. And nothing else before the platform, so this is how we coast in But we've got a minute. A little less than a minute. Oh, now I gotta be down to 100 before the next signal, so I'm gonna push it a bit. Because I should be okay. A half a kilometer out. So, yeah, we'll be fine. So, there we go. And right there, 100. But, yeah, we should already be at the platform according to the preferences. Alright, I definitely pushed it. Hopefully not too far. I think we're alright. We're half a... But yeah, now we're already at 30 seconds. Guess we'll see. Can't do much, but I'm gonna come in here pretty hot. And now we will stop. As long as we're within a minute, I'm hoping we'll be fine, but we'll see. Definitely not great about that. So I'm just worried we're not going to get our 72 points. It should be a shame. I mean, I don't know that I could have driven that any differently, and it won't let us go early from the other platforms, so. Well, it gave us 52, I guess. It's better than I thought. But again, my hope is once we get past this platform, it drops substantially, but it may not. But, so that's it, Koblenz? Yeah, that is it, okay. Alright, so... Alright, only 18 seconds behind. So I just need to be really careful, pay attention to the signals. Go 100, 110. Again, I don't remember. I think we get out of the mountains. Like, Koblenz isn't in the mountains, but I don't, again, recall with 100% certainty. But the final 20 kilometers. So we will finish the scenario. Regardless of what happens at this point, I'll show it to you. Just as I blow past and screw myself up. Was so close too. So, at this point, unless I really screw up some more, we should be, even if it's 900, I should be okay. I mean, I'm tight for sure, but just trying to figure out how to run this. But I do like what I'm seeing. I get to go to 120 and then I get to go to 140. So I'm guessing once we're past this turn, again, I gotta watch my speed. I'm trying to move, and I'm getting a little excited as I see the possibility of making up some time. Alright, so get ourselves to 120 as quick as we can. Alright. And then 140. Alright. Now my hope is that we can start chipping away, given that we're getting to this level of speed. But once again, only time will tell. Alright, so we're at 20. Looking for the signal, just making sure. Alright. So at 10, let's see if we just maintain, or if we fall, or if we rise. Obviously at 20 we were speeding up. We did make up 3 seconds, 4 seconds. So we are chipping away at things. It's just, again, a matter of not making a mistake because I misread the signals. Alright, we're slowing down, so that's not good. So I'll go to 20 where I know it speeds me up a bit again, and then I'll back off to 15 and see what happens. But I want to keep chipping away because if I can get there on time, at least I know I'm going to get my 72 points, which, if math serves me correct, would be 919. Alright, hold on, we're at 140. So it looks like 15 is accelerating us, 10 not so much. So we're a bit on the cusp here. Alright, still all green, no little yellow peeking at us. I think, again, if I'm at least within 30 seconds, I still can get the full amount. But obviously there's not a guarantee. But, you know, people have complained sometimes, like, there's scenarios you just can't maximize or win or get the points on. You know, those are the ones where it makes me wonder, like where we went through the mountains, where I really was careful and was going doing what I could, and then I'm ending up a minute behind when I was on time at the prior station. So it's just a challenge. But you know, that's one of those, like, yeah, did they just not think that one out really well, or someone ran it somehow ultra perfect and they didn't realize that and then just left it set, like, yep, they can get it done in this time, this segment, because I did. You know, and they're not realizing that, yeah, when they did it, they had like the most perfect run they possibly could, and so we are getting closer. Gotta be careful because I'm in the point where I am accelerating, so we're gonna hit 140 at some point. And I will have to back off a little after that happens. So I'll let it go for a bit, but again, I don't want to run the risk of speeding, so there we go, back to 139. Getting close, getting real close. I can feel it, but I'm also starting to feel Koblenz is in the mountains. If not, it's going to be very close to the mountains. Because obviously now that we've cleared those trees by the shoreline, you can see mountains go on for a while. So 6 kilometers isn't that far. We might not be able to quite see that, but we're getting there. Please, no tricks on the signaling. Just want to get there and have the best chance at really closing out this route, this line, with a good finish. I mean, it's already bad enough that I had to redo it. a ton of times, but it doesn't mean that I have any less of a desire to be successful. Alright, so 2.5. The next signal after this one is definitely within the point of where... Okay, so now I need to start slowing down, because at the next signal we need to be at 40. Unless it's lying to me, and then I'm really going to be off on time, which would really be disappointing. Because, see, this is what I mean. Like, I'm losing all kinds of time, but I'm just worried, like, I gotta be down to 40, I think, in a kilometer. Oh, this is so challenging. Like, I'm gonna do that, and then if I have to speed up, I guess I'll speed up, but... Because, yeah, I know I can get closer than this before I start slowing down, but... not a whole lot is the problem, so... Because, you know, I'm gonna be there before I know it, and... and then I'm not going to be happy. So, try that. Alright, hopefully that's good. Alright, so it was 40, so I was right. At least I feel vindicated there, because I'm not like sloughing off tons and tons of time. I had that same panic moment because that light looked like it was red. I mean, it was red, but obviously it didn't flag me for going through a signal, so I don't totally understand. We're not changing track there. I thought for sure we would be. But it could still happen, obviously, between here and the platform, so... And the bigger question is, because sometimes it goes down to 30, and I'm not seeing any signal that would be telling me this. So, if it does, I'm not going to be a happy guy. Alright, well, clearly we're going to get moved over one more, because obviously we have a train right there. So... nice and cozy, that's for sure. Alright, and we're crawling in. And once the train clears or gets close to clearing, I'm absolutely going to start slowing down as fast as I can. There we go. And then we're going to get this thing done, and we should have a really good number. There we go. Alright, so final scenario on the Koblenz Frankfurt line. I've enjoyed it. Definitely will come back and do this, and certainly would have me more interested in doing other German routes. I do like the equipment. I like how they structure things and so forth, so... But let's see what we get. Good work. Now at last you will be able to spend some time with your family. Merry Christmas. And yes, 9/19. Alright, so it was only 800. There we go. Could have done a little bit better, but all in all the challenges I had even getting this far, I'll take it. So, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.